Um, so I'm going to be reading an excerpt from Sensual Eye. Something just fell out of that. I think it was a lotion packet. Anyway, yeah, this little fragment is called Flowers Under Clouds, and I hope you enjoy it as much as I have. You were a rush hour number 7 bus down Broadway. You were a transfer in my pocket that meant I could get back. You were setting from one place to get to another. I was tired and wanting to stay home, but you called me out. You were the sudden opening up of the world while crossing Lake Union, past memories of Kala Kala sunsets, fireworks, boats trailing azure wakes, Mount Rainier on clear days, and sensations of descent into U District wanderings, bookstores, faces, possibility. You were a comfortable couch and a half-nap in Cafe Roma, surrounded by studying undergrads believing in their books. You were a closed-off Ave under reconstruction and slow-moving ghost shapes of the people floating through the 5 o'clock bustle. You were the guy mopping the floor in slow motion at Flowers, the artist outside selling paintings done in hues of violets and reds and pinks and translucent by the terror twilight. You were a chill in the air and my body in a bar with no mood as me and Tabitha sat and started to talk about the nothingness of the day and the emptiness of the closed-off street, and the idea that perhaps it would be good to always have the Ave closed like that to cars so people could wander freely. You were a pale ale on the counter and feeling dizzy from hunger, and slightly still seasick from the rock of the crowded bus going to the dentist after school in the 8th grade, on an empty stomach to receive torture to teeth with braces. Now the pale ale ended its mood, and a few people entered the bar. 2 couples on dates, one looking comfortable with each other, the other talking and laughing nervously while another young woman studied alone and took notes with a gin and tonic by her side. Candles were lit, but the street was still gray, and people were cold and hunched over as they leaned into the night. You were a pint glass ring I ran my fingers through on the counter. You were an inch of beer left in the glass when you returned to the street. You were the hunger for something more, the evasion of chill and cold and cloud and rain. You were the dream of soup and ovens and light. You were one couple leaving the bar and another one coming in. You were me and Tabitha leaving to go to the Ann Charters lecture and a slice of pizza on the way with Joe Strummer and the class singing, "Go to hell, boys, go to hell." The song I heard him sing last year at the showbox, and I wanted to hear him again since he died a few weeks ago, now part of the soundtrack to the night. You were the guy with an unhooked phone in hand and not enough money for a slice, begging the pizza guys to forgive his 50 cents short and grant him the prayer of a slice he was begging for. You were another guy standing on the street eating his slice, staring down at the street, a look of blank contentment in his eyes as he chewed each bite. You were the slow accumulation of characters and moments, more hidden evidence of the hidden life of a city with no obvious reassuring hustle and bustle like New York, San Francisco, Boston, Paris, and always a price to pay for empty moments, empty streets, gray skies, damp air, rain, always the price of admission that feels like not like feeling a thing until you are rewarded of the blue with a hint of expectation on campus at night, or ghosts moving toward words and knowledge and meeting new faces, or a room expectantly waiting to be told something new, or now the lecture beginning and slowly unwinding memories of the past and how they fit into today's scheme of things. You were always a city of should-haves and could-have-beens, what I would love to be doing if I were somewhere else, only then to be humbled by the hidden moments that kept arriving despite all hope being lost, at the thought that they might never return, despite the fact and evidence that they'd always return. You were the crusty old cab driver complaining that Seattle women don't flirt enough and telling stories of his date from Stranger Ad years ago, while his cab barely made it up the hill to Broadway and Deluxe, us wanting to keep the good vibe going, but there was so left and crossed the street to broccoli and tofu, while watching the beautiful woman cook at Siam, sitting at the counter, feeling the heat of the stoves and the flick of spice and flavor and the good warmth carved from the middle of the street with no meaning. You were the punk rock girl standing on Broadway and John, waiting to wipe clean the windows of cars stopped at red lights. Never saw that in Seattle before, only in New York. You were a graffiti tagger who stopped at every post to apply a tag and explain his symbols to me, who stopped to explain tagger aesthetics and styles, and free walls and crews and getting into trouble for tagging a wall he thought was free but wasn't. You were a handshake, Thanks, bro. And a tagger continuing into the night as I went home to bed and wandered toward to sleep with the thought that there wasn't enough free walls in this town. That there needs to be more free walls. More free walls. Free the walls. This town should live.